used a base 60. Which up until now, if I said there's base 60, you'd say there's probably 60 symbols. Well, just because it's base 60 doesn't mean there's actually 60 symbols. It just means there's 60 symbols possible. The Babylonians, rather than using 60 symbols, just used 2 symbols. They used a V to stand for their 1. Then they used a sideways V to stand for their 10. And those are the only 2 symbols they used for all of their math. So base 60, 2 symbols, and you know all of Babylonian math. Which would be good, because if I would put this on the test, that would be the easy one. I won't, but this would be the easy one. All right, so you'd see something like this. V space, sideways V space, VV. Well, those spaces indicate a new place value. So rather than us writing 1, 2, 3, we'd write 1 space 2 space 3. That's their system. Every single space is a new base value. So if we have base 60, that means this right here, this VV, is 60 to the 0th. Now we have a space, so it's a new place value. The new place value is going to be 60 to the 1st. Space again. This one here has to be 60 squared. Now we just have to know how many we have of each thing. Well, this is V. I have V of these. Well, V stood for just 1. So we have 1 times the 60 squared. Plus sideways V, that equaled 10. So we have 10 times the 60. And finally we have 2 V's, so that's 1 and 1, so that's actually 2. 2 V's says I have 2 times 60 to the 0th, or just 1. Well, 60 times 60 is 3,600 plus 600 plus 2. That's going to equal 4,202. So that's the answer, 4,202. All right, let's do the next one. I only have 1 space, so that means I only have 2 place values. So we're going to have 60 to the 0th. And this one is our 60 to the 1st. So that's just going to equal, well, I have 2 sideways ones, so that's 10 plus 10, that's 20. And I have 2 of these, so that's 22. I have 22 times 60 to the 1st, or times 60. And then we're going to add 2 V's is 2 times 60 to the 1st, which is 1. And we're going to come up with 1320 plus 2, which is going to equal 1322. All right, go ahead and try that bottom left one. Work on that bottom left one. I'll be doing it along with you up here, but I won't be talking about it. So do your best to just look down. Look down at your work, and if you get stuck, then you can look up. Or if you get the answer, then look up. it should be 7,200. Alright, so we should have came up with 7,882 in the people I just checked. Had it for the most part. Let me know if you're not getting something, or if you're like way off and you got 7 billion or something on this one. That next one says, develop and solve your own system. That is going to be part of your homework if you didn't get it done. Alright, so you're going to develop your own. It has to be at least 3 bases, or 3 place values I should say. And I will check that tomorrow with your homework. Alright, the next one is the Mayans. The Mayans were the next big culture that came up with a big math. So they're really advanced for their time period. Alright, so the Maya, a tribe of Central American Indians, lived in the Yucatan Peninsula. At its peak, between 300 and 1,000, their civilizations covered an area including parts of Mexico, all of Belize and Guatemala, and parts of Honduras. They were famous for their magnificent architecture. They had awesome astronomy. They had awesome calendars. They could chart different star movements. It's pretty crazy how much they could actually do with their limited technology. They also had great mathematical knowledge, and they had awesome arts. Their numeration system was the first to employ the symbol for 0. So before the Mayans, there was no 0 ever used. 0 just didn't exist. I think it's pretty cool. But the Mayans have a weird numeration system. They use 2 different bases at once. They use both 18 and 20 throughout their system, which creates a little bit of havoc. Because if we look down here, so this 1 is their first place value. And you could think of that as being your 20 to the 0th power. Then it goes to 20 to the 1st power. However, this is where things get weird. Normally I would go 20 squared, 20 to the 3rd, 20 to the 4th. However, instead of using 20, they use 18 times 20, which gives you 360. Which is a lot like our years. It's a lot like circles. They picked this number on purpose. It is not random that 18 times 20 equals 360, and that was their next base value. But their next base value, rather than being 20 squared, is going to be 18 times 20. Then it's going to be 18 times 20 squared. Then it's going to be 18 times 20 cubed. Alright? So rather than going 20 first, 20 squared, they throw that 18 in there. And then we get to the squareds, the cubes, to the 4th, to the 5th, to the 6th, and so on. And I think it'll make more sense once you see a problem with it. Alright, they also use these symbols. So it's base 20, and they actually have 20 symbols. They don't actually have 20 unique symbols. Because if you look at, well, that's 0. 1's a dot, so 2 must be 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots. When you get to 5, they make a line, and then they repeat. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7, 5 plus 3 is 8, 9, and then we have 2 lines for 5, all the way to 3 lines for 15, and then we have 19 at the end, which is 3 5s and 4 dots. Let's go see how this system works. So how this system works, first of all, they write vertically, which makes it pretty nice to add numbers together. So we're vertical, and their biggest place value is on top. So if this was 3,633, this would be either 6, 333. Alright, your biggest place value is on top. So this is our 1's place. This is our 1's place right here. And I have 5 plus 5 plus 2, so that's 12. I have 12 of these guys. So this is our 12 times 1. Now we go up a level. That's 5 and 2, so that's 7. And that's 7 times 20 to the 1st. Our next one is 0 times, but remember with the Mayans, rather than going 20 squared, we're going to go to the 18 times 20. And then our next level up, which is 2 lines, which is 10. 4 dots, so that's 14, times, we include that 18. The 18 always stays there. So once we include 18, 18 just stays as 18 to the first. But this is going to be times 20 squared. So we repeat 20 to the first twice, including 18, and then 18 just stays in there for the rest of the time. This makes it pretty easy to convert because it's already stacked on top of each other. So we have 14 times 18 times 20 squared, which actually equals 100,800. Our next one is 0 times anything is just 0. 7 times 20 is going to be 140. 12 times 1 is just 12. So this whole thing just equals 100,952. Let's go ahead and do the next one on your own. I'll be doing it up here along with you. So if you get stuck, not sure what to do, just kind of look up. But try your best to do as many steps on your own as you can.